Hi my friends, welcome to another carnivore video. Yeah, I think it's really exciting, and it's good to just share all these thoughts, and those of you who can use them, it's really wonderful. So I just wanted to dive into the awakening process again, and how the carnivore and the awakening process are connected to each other. So what we've experienced as humans the last maybe 50 years or something like that, maybe less, 30 years, is that we've become increasingly aware that the authority, all the authorities out there in our society, we can't trust. Because often what they're telling us is really not true. So what the whole health industry has been telling us for many, many years is really not, it's not something that promotes health. What they teach you and what they do to you when you come to the doctor, it is not something that actually helps to heal you. So just this world has become incredibly sick, really. And so beforehand, as humans, when doctors appeared, we used to really be able to rely on them. And there's an interesting thing, a fact about the Chinese, in China, the doctors that used to be in old times, they were only ever paid when the patient was well. If the patient was sick, he got no money. So it's a complete opposite. So he made sure to help support you so that you were well, and then you paid him. But if you got sick, he got no pay. Whereas today, the more sick you are, the more money doctors are making. So, and I know from my own life, and I know many of you have maybe experienced this, but when I was not very well as a baby, my mother took me to the doctor, and as soon as there was some sort of infection, I got antibiotics. And that's really all they did, until I started developing a lot of stomach aches and eczema. And they would give me cortisone cream and more antibiotics. And then I started having throat issues. They removed my tonsils. And then I got, always had stomach pain, always had headaches all my childhood. And then when I got into puberty, I got lots of acne. And then I could feel my brain going all strange, and the dentist filled up my teeth with these amalgam fillings, which is very, very toxic. And by the time I was 15, I was on the pill, on the contraceptive pill, which is a very, very bad thing to do for a young woman. And all this whole treatment made me incredibly sick. And what we know is that when you have an antibiotic treatment, what they do, this medicine goes into the gut and kills all the bacteria, all the good, all the bad, but they don't kill the yeast. So what happened to many of us is that we became the yeast, all these yeast fungal bacteria, they overgrew in our body. Because in our digestive tract, the yeast and the yeasts, there's yeasts in there. In our microbiome, we have the bacteria, we have yeasts, we have fungi, we have protozoa, we have virus, we have parasites. And they're in a healthy microbiome, they're actually all holding each other in balance. So there are parasites in us, and there are fungus bacteria in us. But because all the others are there, they're sort of living in harmony, and everybody's keeping each other in check or in balance, so that in a healthy person there's no overgrowth of bad things. They are kept to a very low degree. And you can say when the body dies, all the good bacteria, they stop being active, and the bad ones proliferate, and we are more or less, we rot from the inside, or we just perish because we're going to go back to the soil. So anyway, what we have done to children, and of course on top of all the things they did to me and to most babies, was that they gave us all these vaccinations, which we know now that can make you completely mentally retarded and all sorts of things. So it's just this very, very bad treatment that we've had from the health doctors, nurses, and I want to hurry up to say that they are, of course, as I see it, they're not bad people, and they're not trying to hurt us, but that is all that they have learned at school, and so that's what they're doing. That's the way they practice what they have learned. So that's just the health industry, but then there's all the other aspects of society, and even our schools and the things they teach the children at school. Often you wish they wouldn't teach it because it's really not very beneficial, and often really not true. So the process that we are in now, we have been in the last few decades, and it's becoming more and more strong, is that we humans are waking up to the fact that we can't just trust our doctor or the teacher or these people, all these people we used to trust and really believe and know that they were an authority that would help us. We've realized we can't do that anymore. And in a way it's really sad. But see, as I see it, that's what the awakening process is all about. That we, each of us humans, we're getting to realize that, or understand that, and that's really God's plan, as I see it, God's plan for us, or the that's the whole plan of the spiritual awakening. That each human stops putting their trust on authorities outside themselves and start to go inward and find their own inner authority. So even though we have been living such a life where we used to always trust everyone around us and what they told us, we always had this gut feeling or this inner intuition that, okay, this person is telling me to do this and this, but it doesn't feel right to me. So we've always had a tiny bit of it, but in this process, that tiny bit, which is really our spirit, our voice, our inner wisdom, that voice is growing and growing and growing and growing. And we're getting to realize that that is the voice we should listen to. So the real authority we need in our lives is within us. And so for many people, they are very sad and angry about the whole situation. Why, as they say, we have been lied to and we have been taken down a wrong path. But as I see it, this is actually a choice that humanity has made. Because if all these authorities had always been telling us the truth, we would never come to this place where we are today, where we started to look for the truth within us, because we were always relying on the wisdom that we needed would come from outside and in. So the awakening process is that humans stop finding their wisdom, what they need to know, outside them, and they go within to find the wisdom. And it is incredibly empowering, and it's wonderful in every way when we sort of open the door up to our inner wisdom and realize, oh my goodness, we really know what to do. In most cases, we know exactly what to do. The only thing that we need to do is, in a way, become more still and listen to that voice within us. So the fact that this has been so bad and still is so bad, it's really forcing us to either just keep trusting the doctors, keep taking the pills and keep getting worse and worse, or stopping up and saying, this doesn't seem right. There must be another solution. And then we start to look within and find that there is a solution, and I know actually inside what's right to do. So there's really, it actually has a purpose. This whole thing has the purpose of helping us awaken to our own inner wisdom and the spirit. That's really our spirit. So from now on we get to live our lives as spiritual beings and with a very little ego. So we are coming into what you can call, you are becoming empowered, and you're coming into your mastery. So it's a completely different way of living, because we're not leaning on anyone or anything anymore. We're just trusting ourselves. And that doesn't mean that we can't look for advice, and we can't look for wisdom around us and read books and watch videos or talk to people. But when we have changed and awoken, when we are awake, we will always go and check, okay, that thing I heard on that video, how does that resonate with me, with my own truth? And so the greatest authority will always be within us. And I just think this process is so beautiful, and it's going to, we're changing the world from the inside out. And so what I really wanted to share with this video is that it's so important to stop blaming and to stop feeling angry and sad about the whole thing, because and if you do feel sad or angry, to really just acknowledge the feelings that you feel, angry and sad that maybe your life has been destroyed in many ways. But it's so important for our energy and for our healing process that we stop blaming and stop being angry. So we let it go and see with our deeper self that this all was helping me to awaken, so that I can live that really, really amazing life that is here for me. So it all had a purpose. So and because when you're angry at someone or something, some institution, you're actually wasting a lot of your energy that you could use to be even more happy, even more strong, and even more healthy. So we have a certain amount of energy, and what they call in the East chi. We have this life force energy, and we can actually cultivate this energy by doing things that uplift us. But every time we blame someone or hate someone or have this what do you call it, the opposite of forgiveness, people we can't forgive, that energy is very low. So it pulls our energy down, or it sucks the energy out of us. So it's so good and that's what we'll be doing in our little Saturday meetups. We'll be talking about this more, but I will also be making more videos about this, how we can get to see, is there something I'm angry about that I'm not aware of? Is there someone I can't forgive? And when we see these things that are going on in us, we can release them, and so we become even more empowered. So yeah, that was just to say that this is how I see it, that the reason the world came into such a really bad state is actually helping us awaken. And so the other thing I want to just mention about the carnivore diet or eating a paleo, a more ancestrally appropriate diet, or just a natural diet. It's this process we've been in where many people, I haven't, actually as a little girl I was actually eating a very bad diet when I grew up until I realized what I should be eating. But many people today have only been eating the standard American diet with just a very toxic diet. And as you probably have experienced, when you step away from it, you can feel that your awareness and your consciousness grows, because when you're eating a very toxic diet, you actually in a way become more stupid. You lose your ability to reason really well. So, but we thought that when we were being fed all that food, that was just okay because everybody was doing it. But in this process we are now, as I see it, is that our body or our spirit is signaling to us that you can't just put anything into your body. It's the way you treat yourself is really important, because your body is really the temple of your spirit. So it is important you treat it with love and with intelligence. So yeah, all the food guidance we've been given, that authority, we have to let that go, and that's the process we're in, to ask ourselves, okay, what is the right food for me? And it's always a natural food. The body never wants a processed, a toxic food. It doesn't want it. So that's just the process we're in, to realize that we have to honor our body and our true needs. We have to honor them, and we have to tune into what is right for our own individual selves. So that's the whole process that we're all in, we who wish to awaken. And it can look really grim, but when we turn it all around, we can see it in this more enlightened way. So see it with the eyes of our spirit. And when we see it with the eyes of our spirit, it's all beautiful, because we're awakening. So yeah, I don't know if that sounded really strange, but I just felt it's really good to share this, that there is no one to blame, there's no one to fear, and all that has happened was not without a purpose. It had actually a very deep purpose. So and we who are coming out into the light and realizing that we have to change our way of living, we can just praise the Lord and be grateful, and we can help others to come out of the mess they're in, so we can all hold each other's hands. So yeah, that was what I wanted to share in this video about more of the awakening, the carnivore diet or natural diet, and this awakening process. So see you in the next video. Bye.